Becarucci, Felipe Rodriguez, Santiago Rodriguez, Jalen Agudelo, and Jose Giuliani. And now tonight's starting lineup for the Charlotte Cardinals. Katie Frederick, Will Dominguez, Miles Capel, Wells O'Mara, Lucas Lipinski, Keating Dieter, DJ Deeper, Hayden O'Connor, Andrew Boone, Luke Zemke, Hayden McLaughlin, Joel Eversole, Thomas McKillop, Zane Schumacher, and Max Poulsen. And the Anthem RC would like to thank Novant Health for its support of the organization as our official healthcare provider and as presenting sponsor for this inaugural Anthem Pathway Classic that highlights amateur rugby throughout the Carolinas. Novant Health's remarkable service providers and award-winning care are trusted to help Anthem RC and USA Rugby players to recover and perform at their best. Novant Health supports a seamless and personalized healthcare experience for communities in North and South Carolina through a network of 900 locations, 19 hospitals, and more than 750 physician clinics. To learn more about the remarkable care of Novant Health, visit novanthealth.org. We would like to take a moment now to welcome everyone here tonight who is in town taking part in Carolina Ruggerfest. Tomorrow's Ruggerfest will mark the 23rd year for this great rugby event, with the last 10 years being played right here in Matthews. More than 9,000 people will be in attendance for this year's tournament, with over 85% coming from outside the greater Charlotte area. This year's event will include a record high 89 teams representing 15 states in the Cayman Islands, as well as 24 different colleges or academy organizations. Carolina Ruggerfest is truly a capstone youth rugby event in the United States, and it traditionally kicks off the spring rugby travel season as teams wake up from the winter and head to Matthews, North Carolina for nice weather, southern manners, great food, ample lodging, and wonderful competition. Welcome once again to all Ruggerfest competitors and fans. Now, let's check in once again with your match day host, Caitlin.
Thanks, Vince. Well, fans, it's almost that time. We're getting ready for the first match of the night, but I just want to run through the schedule before we get things going. The Okapi Wanderers, visiting from Weston, Florida, will be taking on the Charlotte Cardinals in our first match of the night, which starts in a few minutes. Then following our first match, all interested kids can attend a special youth rugby skills clinic that will be held on field 1 and 2 in Area A. That's located across the stadium's parking lot entrance. Then at 8 p.m., it's Ohio State University taking on Queens University in our second match. So now it's time to get up on your feet and make some noise as we welcome the teams to the field for tonight's first match in the Anthem Pathway Classic.
Welcome everybody to the Matthews Sportsplex in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina for the inaugural Anthem Pathway Classic presented by Anthem Rugby Carolina of Major League Rugby and the College Rugby Association of America. I'm Alex Goff, and I'm joined by Eagle and Anthem player Sam Gala. And this is the first match of the night with the number 3 Charlotte Cardinals and number 11 Okapi Wanderers. And Sam, 2 elite-level high school club teams in a stadium scenario. The great atmosphere. Fans are coming in, and it's sort of a broadcast night as well. Is the only thing going on. Very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've personally played a game here at this stadium. It's an amazing field. I did an Eagles training camp here as well over the Matthews Sportsplex. Great field, great environment. Weather, it's a bit cloudy, bit rainy, but I'm sure the boys are going to be up for a good game tonight, and what an occasion for them,
Yeah, very much so. There's an occasion we have the color guard getting ready to come out onto the field. We have top refs ready to officiate this. It is broadcast live here on the CRAA YouTube channel, And as I said, really, there's a lot of high school rugby going on this weekend. It's all happening tomorrow. And on the weekend tonight, it's this game, Charlotte Cardinals in the blue against Okapi Wanderers in the mostly white with their traditional little African-style stripes to emulate the Okapi animal. And we are coming out for the presentation of the colors and the national anthem. And as we get set for that, we may be interrupted here for a second. I think we'll wait for after the anthem for our lineups, but we have very exciting lineups, some really top-notch players from both programs, Southern Florida and then right here in the Charlotte area. Absolutely. Getting ready to play.
At this time, we ask that you please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your hats as we prepare for the presentation of tonight's national anthem. Presenting our colors this evening are members of the UNC Charlotte Air Force ROTC Honor Guard, in cooperation with the Queen's University ROTC program. Anthem Rugby Carolina is proud to take its name directly from our nation's national anthem as we set out each and every day to honor the freedom and tradition that our country's national anthem promotes. It is with a great sense of pride that Anthem Rugby Carolina now presents the singing of our national anthem. To lead us this evening, please welcome Miss Ella Porter, who is currently studying professional writing and rhetoric at Queen's University here in Charlotte, while double minoring in Spanish and communications.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets their bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Ella Porter. Great job, Ella. All right, fans, kickoff is coming up next.
The national anthem presented, the colors presented with the color guard from UNC Charlotte in association with the ROTC program at Queen's University. Going to see Queen's University a little bit later today. But first of all, Okapi versus Charlotte Cardinals. Quick go down the lineup for Okapi Wanderers. Your props are Bautista Orfia and Cameron Padilla. Your hooker is Thomas Otero. And the locks, Maximo Pesolano and Thomas Miller. And the flankers, Etienne Limby and Lucas Schmid with the number 8, Juan Codoni. Scrum half, Anthony Salabaria. And fly half, Joaquin Rodriguez. A lot of Rodriguez's in this team.
Yep.
Because we do have the Felipe and Santiago Rodriguez are the center pairing. And then your wings, Haline Agudelo and Noah Beccerucci, and the fullback, Jose Giuliani. For the Charlotte Cardinals, Kate Frederick and Miles Capel are your props. Will Dominguez, the hooker, Wells O'Mara and Lucas Lipinski at lock. Flankers, Keenan Teeter and TJ Kiefer. and the number 8, Aiden O'Connor. Andrew Kuhn is your number 9. Luke Zemke will captain the team from the number 10 position. And your wings, Aiden McLaughlin and Zane Schumacher. Centers, Cole Eversole and Thomas McKillop. Eversole back from hip surgery, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So they shaved down his hips, apparently. And Max Colson, it will be your fullback. Head coaches Jason Zemke for Charlotte Cardinals and Juan Orfia and Jose Codoni for Okapi. And we are just about ready.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to see this game. I actually did some coaching for Marvin Ridge, which is a high school team a lot of the Cardinal boys play on, such as both Aiden O'Connor, as well as Aiden McLaughlin. So I'm excited to see those two get to action.
And the kick is up from Luke Zemke and deep, nicely taken and quickly done. And that kick was a little bit of a line drive, charged down by a very good chase from the Cardinals, and quickly they're over the ball. Zemke through. Is Zemke in the line? Just like that. The Cardinals have scored. A little bit slow to clear it, and Okapi in trouble, and Zemke right through.
Here's the thing. I don't think Okapi was slow to clear it. I just think the Cardinals had way faster pressure than they anticipated. You know, they had the right idea. Get the ball to the 10, get it out of their 22, but Cardinals just pressured that kick so fast, and they just capitalized on some points. So that was great play from the Cardinals there.
Playing for Charlotte Catholic, Luke Zemke has mostly been in the number 12 jersey, the inside center, and he certainly hit the line like one.
Yeah, no, he ran a line like a center right there. That's not what you'd expect from the 10, but he did great, and you know, he saw an opportunity and took it.
Max Colson with the kick. It is good, and we are 7-0 when we barely caught our breath. But that's one of those things, Sam, that you know, you just turn around and say, hey, let's forget about that.
Yeah, you know, Cardinals just set the tone for the game. It's time for Okapi the Okapi Warriors to really fire back here.
And then Joaquin Rodriguez getting ready to kick off for Okapi, and you can see what defensive pressure can do. This one hits the ground, rolls around. Zemke gets it, and that kick, that was just too low. Pulled his head up a little bit, dug out by Salabaria, looking for a little help, trying to organize that pod. Maybe just build something slowly, not get too rushed on that.
Yeah.
Orfia.
We'll see here how the Wanderers, you know, form their attack. These are the time of the game where you kind of get a feel for how a team plays.
Oh, and just a hard hit there that knocks the ball loose. Cardinals will get that one back. And I think that was Will Dominguez with the tackle that forced that knock on. Kick deep. And a kicking game. This will be an interesting kicking battle because Okapi kicks very well. Taking it right up, though. Cardinals say, well, how about we not do a little kick exchange? Why don't we just run it at him? And that was a good carry there from the wing, Aiden McLaughlin. Once again, big, powerful runners there. Capel. Zemke now with the kick. That's a little high, a little behind. And Okapi will get that back.
Yeah, putting up a good contestable right around the 50 is always a good idea. I don't think, you know, they had enough chase lines on that. But, again, right idea from the Cardinals to kind of open up some space, create some uncertainty for the Wanderers. And, you know, we ended with the first scrum of the game.
The Cardinals trying to poach that one, lost it forward, so it'll be a scrum to Okapi. Down 7-0 early. They just already settled down a little bit. And now we'll see Anthony Salabaria put that ball in the scrum. It'll be an interesting battle here with a lot of coaches. With Okapi, with that Argentinian background.
Yeah.
They care about the scrum. They care very much about the scrum.
Yeah, I actually had Mario Ledesma. He coached Argentina when they first beat the All Blacks. He was my scrum coach when I was my first year at Dallas, and the Argentinians love their scrum.
They do love it.
And they know how to scrum, that's for sure. Size doesn't matter to them, too. It's all technique.
It's a technique, and sometimes it's just sort of staying in it, right? I mean, you know, at playing at lock and flanker, but especially at lock, it can feel uncomfortable at times. You just have to.
It's about who wants. who outlasts the team first. You know,
Yes.
that really is the battle you face there.
Under 19 rules, we limit the scrum, but this will be going straight down on the ground. So you're still trying to get that edge, that little edge, and the Cardinals penalized for collapsing that scrum. And that'll be a good opportunity for Okapi. Take the line out a little bit further down.
Yeah. Wanderers did a good job of, you know, going for the touch, taking the territory, and now we're going to see the first line out of the game.
Fans at the lineup,
see-
let's get loud.
And there will be our throw in from Thomas Otero. And Okapi has set up a little pod system to sort of after the first receiver, after the fly half. So we'll go through the fly half. Rodriguez uses that pod to try and power through the middle. Met with interest, but the tackle high. Another penalty against Charlotte.
Yeah, just, you know, bad discipline there from the Cardinals. I thought it was a great defensive line. I thought they put a lot of pressure on after the line out. I believe that was Aiden O'Connor that, you know, made that, I wouldn't say late, perfectly timed hit on the 9 to get that ball out.
Right.
You know, so great pressure from them, just, you know, poor execution.
And as we talked about, like not panicking because you give away an early try here. Okapi just happy to see if they can get 3 points on the board, just eat back into that Charlotte Cardinals lead. Just 7-0 really, and now that a few minutes have gone,
Yeah.
they're going to set it up. As we said, many of these players can kick. They pride themselves on that. Rodriguez lining this one up.
A smart move from them, you know. They don't need to go all the way to touch. They don't need to score the 7. Get points on the board, get back, receive the ball again.
That was a pretty majestic kick, I have to say. Just sailed through the post, 7-3.
Yep. Joaquin Rodriguez is going to be a man to watch out in this game, especially with that boot of his. He's taking space on touch, good exits, good points there. So let's see how he pairs up against this next reception.
Well, the Wanderers will want to get out of trouble a little bit better. This is a much deeper kick straight to Rodriguez, in fact, and that is a good clearance kick. Coulson got under it. Looking at his options. Zemke with him. Zemke fakes that little reverse pass and just goes straight up the gut. And there you see Coulson as the first receiver into the fly half position, and you will see them switch back and forth. Head coach Jason Zemke said he's finally got to a point where he has a 10 and a 15 who are completely interchangeable. Zemke now, and he loses that one with the defense coming up. He just took his eye off the ball. Okapi swarming in, and Charlotte able to sort of stop it. They lost that ball forward again. A little bit of composure issues, I think.
Yeah, I also think the Wanderers did an amazing job on that exit. You know, Rodriguez had a fantastic kick to get the exit, and their line speed out of the 22 was perfect. You know, they came up, met them at the 50, put defensive pressure on, and they're walking away with the scrum now.
Well organized, and it's worth pointing out that while these individuals for the Cardinals have been playing quite a while because they played their school season as you were coaching in it, this team has only played the one game. They went to San Mateo and they played that game, and they won very comfortably. A little bit sort of just like bigger and stronger in that game, and meanwhile Okapi, they're 4-0 in league play. So they've been playing their league as a unit, and that can be an advantage to them.
Yeah, I think when you have all these all-stars is pretty much how I see the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You know, it's taking the best players from the high schools here. It does take a lot of time to kind of build those bonds together, you know, so oftentimes you'll see teams that may not have the same caliber of players beat teams that are all-star teams, you know. So what's important is those connections and kind of learning how to play with each teammate.
And we see a few positional changes too. We talked about Luke Zemke going from the center to fly half. Thomas McKillop was a flanker, loose forward for Charlotte Catholic, and now is in the centers. So
yeah, so definitely some position changes here, and that's just something they're gonna have to get used to.
Rodriguez chips it over the top. The chase is on. just covered very nicely, in fact, by Schumacher.
Yeah, that was heads-up play from the Wanderers and also good effort from Zane to get back there and get that ball.
Ball rolled into in goal and was touched down, and so we will go with the goal line dropout. Zemke now. A lot of Okapi players up there to charge that down, but it goes deep instead to Giuliani, and he is met pretty swiftly there. McKillop, in fact, with the tackle. And that might be a turnover for the Cardinals. Yes.
It is.
They've got that. Pick and go, O'Connor.
Yeah, that was a wonderful tackle from McKillop to get the turnover.
And they passed it back to Colson, but he couldn't go for touch because it was passed back into the 22. 15-on-15 tackle. Look at how quickly Okapi moves that ball into space. They just needed that one more pass, perhaps, to set somebody free, but still on they come. Padilla with the hard carry.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hard carry. I thought that tackle from Wells O'Mara was exceptional. He did come in a little bit from the outside, but it was a dominant shot. A double tackle there, forced the turnover.
And the penalty against Okapi. Was that holding on? Did you see that?
I think it was holding on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just too much pressure from Cardinals there.
Asking a little bit too much, perhaps, but that ball doesn't make touch, but the chase is on again. The kick chase in both of these teams has been quite
Kick is as good as its chase.
Yeah.
I mean, a bad kick can turn into a try as long as you got enough guys that are chasing it and putting enough pressure on. Didn't go out of bounds, but Cardinals got the chase, and now they get the line out. And I believe this is the Cardinals' first attacking line out of the game, so I'm excited to see kind of what they pull out from the hat.
Lucas Lipinski in there, and he's had a good season so far for Charlotte Catholic, but actually that one was O'Connor going up, and that was tapped away by the Wanderers. Wanderers still managed to retain it.
Yeah, I think just Cardinals need to be a little bit quicker there at the line out, giving the Wanderers too much time to defend them in the air.
And these days, a rare call, ball not coming out of the ruck, and it'll just be a scrum to the team that brought it into the ruck. That's you don't see that. Usually it ends up being somebody gets penalized for it.
Yeah.
But I think Okapi will take that because they can. If they win this scrum, they are inside the 22, and they might feel more comfortable clearing it out. But still, pressure for Charlotte. I don't know if you saw it there. TJ Kiefer, the open side flanker for Charlotte, just sort of points to himself and points forward like, I'm going to go. I'm taking him down.
Yeah, I mean, as much as a flanker can help in the scrum, it's really up to the front row.
Right.
But
break away and go hunt somebody. Yeah. And a big shove from Charlotte. Referee says play on. The ball is available, so off we go. Another high tackle, I think. And there will be at least a discussion about it because that would be the second high tackle from Charlotte.
Yeah. It's tough. Eversole is a tall guy,
yes,
especially at center. He's going up against, a shorter opponent in that one. He just has to lower his body height a bit. That's something you got to be cognizant about when you're a little bit taller on the field.
Good refereeing there, just a caution to say, hey, we're here. This is an exhibition game. This is not a conference game. Why don't we just settle it down?
I agree with the call. I think, a warning is good enough. Now, if there's a double high tackle from 12, a second offense, that would be a card.
Rodriguez doesn't make touch. Really nice, elusive running there. We're going to get a penalty here.
I believe that was another high tackle.
Another high tackle, yeah. It could have been a high tackle.
Yeah.
But now twice we've seen players miss touch, just short. And the thing is, this is a real rugby pitch.
Yes.
And so many high school players are used to playing on football fields.
Yeah.
And things like that. Do you think that has a factor?
It could have a factor.
Yeah.
It could also be the occasion. I think maybe they are risking too much.
Right.
You know,
Well, they lost the lineout the first time, and it's tapped away again.
yeah, tapped away, out of bounds. It's going to be Cardinals ball again. They're 0 for 2 at the lineout, so they need a platform to attack on, lineout or scrum. So they need to win a ball here, whether if it's their, best call, but they need to win a ball in order to get the balls to the backs and attack.
I think that was Etienne Limby, but now they have him at the back pod. A couple of options, but this time taken and not straight. Lucas Schmid went up there for Okapi and forced that not straight throw.
No, I think it was as a lock, as a line out caller, it's tough. I thought that ball was it was contested.
It was contested, yeah.
Was it on his right shoulder? Maybe not. But again, the Wanderers did a good job of getting a man in the air, and that's the most important part on defense, is getting a man in the air. And once you get a man in the air, it makes it a lot easier to make those calls for the ref.
Get the other team thinking about you and not what they're doing.
Yes.
And Okapi now has disrupted that line out. This could be an ongoing story in this game, and now they get this scrum. Hoping to get out of trouble. A little bit of a low pass, but Rodriguez does very well to take that and just drive it downfield.
And look at that chase line from the Wanderers. Good pressure.
Zemke sends it high. Rodriguez is under it. Colson chases him. That kick will go a long way, in fact. Nicely covered by Kuhn. And another kick through. We talked about that the potential for there to be a lot of kicking. This is sort of a little line drive kick just to make people feel a little worried. That one from Beccarucci, and Colson traps it with his foot and kicks it to touch and says, enough of this. Let's get it into touch.
Yep, and Wanderers won that kicking battle.
Yeah.
They get the line out. It's in their attacking half. But I mean, that was really good kicking game from a high school team. Highly sophisticated, in my opinion.
And that little line drive kick, that was on purpose.
Yeah.
Just to say, hey, he might drop this. That's one of the things you're hoping for in this.
Conditions are rough. It's wet.
And up and down comes Miller, and out into the middle. Nice tackle from the Cardinals, looking to get that post, not able to get it. And now an inside tips pass. And the offload. Okapi now moving. This is the first time we really see them challenge the Cardinals defensively. And just at the end there, a little knock on.
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job. I thought it was Maximo Pesolano, the lock, big, tall guy. But he might have just taken a couple too many steps. Sometimes you need to know when to go down, get the ball to your backs, get support over in the ruck. To get that ball out and just attack, But again, good carry. Look
Big
where
carry,
they are,
also from Juan Codoni, who made that offload so they were able to keep going a little bit faster. Both teams will want to play quickly, but they know that, so they slow each other down.
Yeah.
Kuhn in, he digs it out, looking for Zemke. Zemke's going to put boot to ball.
Yep.
And drive that downfield into, not quite into touch. It took an infield bounce. Well fielded, and the little dummy in back, Giuliani.
Oh.
Giuliani then on the break and perhaps had more in front of him.
Yeah. That was just a knock on. I think he was about to dummy kick, something like that. But, it's wet out here today. He knocked it on, and, I know he's beating himself up about that mistake, but it happens.
And you can see the danger they have, their ability to be elusive and then just make a decision. Good the decision making right now, I'm very impressed with it.
Me too. I'm very impressed. I think both teams have the right idea. They are making the exits when they need to exit. They make the right calls. I thought the Wanderers had a great line-out execution and play and just fed off of the forward carries. It's been going good.
Kuhn digs it out. Zemke, once again, this time he kicks it high. looking for a chase. Contact in the air. Referee says play on. Loose ball and the offload. And he just dropped it there at the try line. McKillop on his way, thinking about, I think, Sammy, you were talking about thinking about that offload, and that ball is a little wet.
It is. I mean, that's the second one we've seen back to back. I thought it was a good contest in the air. I mean, maybe he didn't jump, but you could tell that he did make an attempt to catch that ball.
I think he did go up for it. He just didn't go up very far. Not great vertical leap, but that's.
He got hands on the ball. He was not trying to tackle, and they recovered. So just skills, discipline on both sides of the game right now, especially on those breaks, those big moments. We need to see a little bit more composure out of both teams to get some points on the board.
Don't see a lot of up and unders in high school rugby, but it's very effective if you have someone who has the skill set to do that. And another scrum infraction. Set piece, a problem for Charlotte Cardinals. This time it'll be a free kick against them. Early engagement. So once again, I mean, I think both of those were just trying to get the jump on the opposing team. They were a little bit concerned, it sounds like, with the scrum from Okapi. Said, well, let's get our hit in first.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cardinals are working with a little bit of insurance here, 4 points of it, but they do need to make some fixes at the set piece, line out and scrum. I don't think they've won any so far in this game, so definitely some changes that need to be made.
And all the way to the back, went over the jumper they wanted, but guarded nicely by their tail gunner. And the Cardinals have a bit of a loopy pass, but rescued there by O'Mara. Kuhn now digs it out. Goes out to the number 8, Aiden O'Connor. Zemke now. Send that to Colson.
Good hand.
Nicely done to McLaughlin. The chip ahead. Racing back, Salabaria. He slides on it.
That was a great chip kit from A.N. O'Connor. He had no man on his outside. Kicked it in, did the chase. Now they're going to pressure them for the exit, and now they get the turnover.
And there they thought maybe they could get that steal off the tackle with Salabaria. And the referee, I think, made a couple of signals there, and I'm not quite sure exactly.
I'm mistaken. Yeah, they actually, I don't think they released. Yeah.
And so just a little bit of a chat, a little bit of a talking to Aiden O'Connor. But we hadn't seen much of that from the Cardinals, and then suddenly they decided to go wide, and some nice slick passing, getting it out there to the left wing, Aiden McLaughlin. And that another thing you don't see, the kick, but the kick infield, almost the cross kick. Again, a little bit of just better, great field awareness.
Yeah.
And so the penalty against Charlotte Cardinals for not releasing the tackle player, perhaps, and an excellent touch finder from Rodriguez gets them from close to their try line out to right next to the halfway line. Just some excellent skill. The throw in now from Codoni, the number 8.
Not straight.
And they will get the not straight call, and they'll call for the scrum, and perhaps they will find a set piece that, potato, they're not winning either.
Lineout's not working, scrum's not working. I think they have, right now, probably a better chance of retaining possession at the scrum.
Right, they have won a scrum.
Yeah.
I believe they've won a scrum, so it's really just a case of that they've got to avoid those penalties. Okapi's got to feel relatively good about their set piece performance, but that not straight has to be frustrating because they didn't really need it.
Definitely frustrating, but if I was Okapi, I would just continue to stick to what they're doing because it is working. Maybe they don't have as many points on the board, but their defense, their kicking game, and their attack game is working well.
8-man pick to the left side. O'Connor beats one, almost beats another. Ball squirts out, but Kuhn does very well to get that to Cade Frederick. Good, powerful carry from the loose head prop. And back we go again, this time to Lipinski. Well, he makes good ground, good 5 meters past that gain line. Zemke now with the high ball again, up to the 22. And here the mark is called. Well taken, very well taken indeed, in fact. And calling for the mark, that's the fair catch.
Yeah.
If you don't watch rugby a lot, you can fair catch it inside your 22-meter region. You get a good catch. You can call a fair catch. You just have to make that free kick mark, that right-angled arm, and then you get a free kick, which you can kick to touch, which is what most people do. Doesn't make touch, but they make territory. Coulson has it, gets it out to Schumacher. Schumacher, he is just a wriggly little thing, isn't he? And he just gets through.
Yeah. He is a very athletic player. I know his brother plays at University of Arizona as well.
That's true, yes,
and I
he
see a
does,
bright future for him
indeed.
as a rugby player.
That would be O'Connor coming through. Zemke now. Again, boot to ball. And once again taken, this time by the fullback, Jose Giuliani, and he called for the mark again.
Cardinals putting the pressure on, you know, and then Wanderers, lots of credit to them. They're doing a great job of recovering, getting that ball back, calling the mark, giving their guys time. But, you know, eventually, if they keep this pressure on, it's going to break.
Giuliani kicks to touch, and that is another very good touch finder. Gets them close to midfield, but that's just a free kick, so it does become a turnover. So it is a line out for Charlotte. But I'll tell you what, yeah, take those. Kick to touch. Steal their line out.
Give them the ball at the line out.
Yeah.
You know, if we've won every single one of their lineouts, yeah, I would always kick to touch, even if it wasn't possession. Just keep applying pressure.
It's Thomas Miller for Okapi. He's lifting, he's jumping, he's calling signals, doing a lot of work in there. And the early one, it's won by Charlotte, not cleanly, but they still have it. Somehow got offloaded to the tight head, Miles Capel. And another first receiver there, Wells O'Mara, was isolated, but he managed to delay enough for his support to get there. And Lipinski, good drive from him. Zemke now sends it wide. Out to McLaughlin. McLaughlin, the sidestep in, beats a couple. Has his pod with him. Running onto it, Capel. The tight head. And that kind of pressure eventually not rolling away.
Yeah.
Going through gain line penetration, and they just weren't able to roll away quickly enough. And they're calling a scrum on this one.
Yeah, I mean,
The players are packing
I'm
up
not
for
surprised. I
love.
think the
Yeah.
line out, they barely won that one.
Right.
In this zone, it's a pretty good platform for the backs to attack off of. However, the forwards were all of that. They had the hard carries there. Aiden did a great job off the edge, stepping a couple defenders. But from there, the forwards just broke the gain line every single time. And, you know, that's going to force a penalty. Your defense is going to work hard to get back, and someone is going to put their hands in that ruck a little too long. Out of desperation to stop
Little
it.
too late.
And, you know,
Yes.
that's exactly what happened. And that's just bad discipline from the Wanderers. But it was great work from the Cardinals, and let's see how they perform here.
Might be an 8-man pick opportunity for Aiden
Yeah.
O'Connor. He's got left or right. He went left one time, but no, Kuhn's got it. Zemke, he has options. Sends that to Eversole. Back they go the left side. Capel. Father Dan takes a lot of photographs, which I use a great deal. Nice little sidestep inside. Pull that out and look for Coulson again to try and send that flat pass. It's a keeper. He's still going. Coulson still to the line, and Coulson is over. After all the passing and the flat passes, he just kept it that one time and kept Okapi guessing, and it's the second try for the Charlotte Cardinals.
Yeah, Coulson, great player. I believe he plays 10 for Huff when he's not with the Cardinals. And I think right there he just decided to do it on his own. Step a couple guys, use the man outside of him to draw the defender, and take that gap and score points. So great job to him. Cardinals needed points. I feel like they were knocking at the door multiple times. And I'm glad their set piece worked. I'm glad the scrum worked, and they got some points on the board there.
using the boot. We talked about the kick contest, and Okapi was getting the upper hand there, but then just a couple of these little kicks, and generally with the high ball, you want to have it drop just before the 22, and Zemke sent a couple into the 22 as that kick is up and a little bit to the left. Oh, no, it's over. For a second there, they looked like they weren't going to give it. And so that makes it 14-3. But the Cardinals were happy to give up the marks. That's fine. You know, we're still playing in your half.
Yeah, I mean, they were happy to do it. They were happy to apply the pressure, you know, and then they're already set to receive. You know, that's the thing. It's the Wanderers that are going to have to exit, chase, apply pressure, then win a ball on defense. That's a lot of work that they're making them do. So good on them.
14-3, Charlotte Cardinals lead. If you're just joining us, the Cardinals scored in the first 40 seconds of this game thanks to a charge down on a kick and then just some really quick reaction to get that ball over the line. Zemke scored that one. Okapi replied with a penalty goal, but then it was a long period of pressure from Charlotte that got them this next try. Nicely kept in field. And the Cardinals now they charge ahead, up the middle. Now there's some trouble for Okapi. Great run from O'Mara, looking for some offloads.
Yeah, that was very close to being a knock on there from Wells O'Mara. Looks like he tried to dummy the run through the gap hit from his teammate, but it just didn't turn out well.
And rolling around on the ground, eventually they were isolated, and it ended up being a holding on penalty against Charlotte. But we saw suddenly that they broke open in the middle, and that whole thing of and Sam, you know this is I think this is part of your game. You carry hard. Eventually, you make someone not want to tackle you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tired of this. I've done this 7 times. I don't want to do it anymore.
I think the Cardinals right now have the muscle, and I think the Wanderers right now have the technique. And right now, you know, that muscle is kind of the size and strength of the carriers for the Cardinals is kind of it's hurting the Wanderers. But the Wanderers, they're relying on their kicking game, and it's working. We just need to see them execute and get in that try zone.
Okapi could really use a clean line-out win here. And they have been having a lot of good fortune when it comes to line-out. This is what they wanted. Nice clean take.
Set
to the back now. The maul is moving, still moving. Good work there from Pesolano to just make sure it stays tight. Codoni has it now out the back. Rodriguez. Salabario wants that. Gets that to the big charger,
shot.
Padilla.
Yeah. I believe that was Lipinski coming in, making a massive hit off of a good defensive set in the maul. That's exactly what you want to see out of defense.
They've sent Padilla in a couple of times with big carries, but there just hasn't been the kind of support that he needs to win that ruck. And so a couple of holding on penalties as a result, or turnovers anyway. And a nice touch finder from Colson. And line out for Charlotte Cardinals inside the Okapi half just a few seconds after they were defending and really perhaps in a little bit of concern that they might be under pressure. They managed to relieve that. So here we are inching our way down to halftime, maybe 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes to go till halftime. It's been a very fluid game. Short, they go short. They kind of had to.
Yeah.
Where else did they that's all they had left.
That was a good call from them.
And here we go with the big runners. Capel being pushed by Lipinski. Dug out Zemke now. Sending it wide. Colson. Out there to McKillop. McKillop running on his own. He's isolated. Yeah, that's going to be a holding on penalty all day.
That was great work from their 15. Jose Giuliani.
And they saw immediately that there was no one there. Just get your hands over that ball.
Yep. An isolated man. Did great work on defense. Got up, made a double effort.
And that's one of the things, talking about the Argentinian approach. I was lucky enough to go on tour with a high school team to Argentina, and if you are isolated and they're over the ball, that is an instant penalty.
Yeah.
They don't worry, whereas, say, where I live in Ohio, they expect the roll. You need to roll completely away before they worry about the poach. In Argentina, it is you must make that ball available or else.
Or else it's a turnover.
Yeah. So that you coach that, get over the ball quickly. That ball is lost forward by Okapi, taken quickly by the Cardinals. On the drop.
Those conditions out there, If
you take your eyes off that ball to worry about the defense, you can lose it forward. And you saw this, Will Dominguez just sort of put his head up in the sky. Just like, I'm disgusted with himself. But it will happen.
It will. It's tough, when it's wet, when it's, grassy and it's been raining, you're going to want to feel the need to catch with your chest. And a lot of the times, that's the worst thing to do. And so that's what I'm seeing a lot of, especially in that scenario right there.
Scrum down at a very nice attacking situation for Charlotte. Andrew Kuhn, Luke Zemke putting it into the wing. Aiden McLaughlin's first time we've seen them try to get the wings involved in the middle of the field. Something head coach Jason Zemke said he wanted to do. Keenan Teeter now taking it up. Colson sent that flat to Frederick. Cade Frederick does well to stay on his feet. Teeter. Back to Dominguez. And this is good methodical phase work from Charlotte. And then the offload and the bump off from Wells O'Mara. O'Mara, this is another big run from the lock. And I think that was O'Connor with the offload to him. Not sure. And then the stretch over. We do have a try.
That was great work. I'll shout out the Marvin Ridge boys. Aiden O'Connor with a strong carry, and then he offloads it to Wells. Takes on 3-4 defenders. I think it was Keffer, right?
Yeah.
That made that try. He just did all the work before, so props to him. Props to those Marvin Ridge boys.
Good hard carries, but also these were offloads out of contact.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just sort of free and easy. And so this is probably one of the better phase sequences we saw from
Definitely.
Charlotte.
I think those multiple phases there. Again, the forwards for the Cardinals are doing great work. They're hitting gain line every single carry. And when that happens, it just puts too much pressure on the defensive line to get set enough to put on those shots that stop any go forward. So changes for both teams. I think, Wanderers need to get their chop and they need to stop the Cardinals at the line. Other than that, I think their set piece is great. Their kick game is great. And as far as the Cardinals go, they need to work on their set piece. Scrum, line out. Other than that, I think they're doing a great job.
Right?
Yeah. So those would be the changes as a coach I would make, at halftime.
Do you think the short throw can work every time, or do they have to get away from that and get back to finding a way to win?
For the Cardinals, it really just depends on how the Wanderers defend the line out in the short throw. If that prop at the front has his back turned to the hooker, it's really easy to just take that zero option. If he's opened up, then they got to put a man in the air. So you can only use it so many times.
Right.
But it was a great call on their part. But overall, Wanderers have the better line out in scrum right now, in my opinion. So those would just be the changes the Cardinals need to make at halftime.
21-3 Charlotte Cardinals lead after that fantastic conversion from Colson, who's perfect 3 for 3. And the Cardinals are going to go inside and just sort of warm up. Interesting, the Florida boys are going to stay out. No, they're going to have a little circle up and go inside for a little bit. We're going to take a break. It's halftime. We will be back for the second half. This is the Pathway Classic hosted by Anthem and CRAA. And Charlotte Cardinals 21, Okapi Wanderers 3. We'll be back for the second half.
Decided to kind of bring that together and unify more of our rugby community.
It means a lot because Charlotte Rugby Club's been here since 1971, and it's a lot of heritage, tremendous amount. It's really helped lock in a rugby community within Charlotte and the Carolinas. And so having Anthem partner with them, it just locks youth rugby, club rugby, and professional level rugby all together, as it should be. And I think it will really help build the community because of the roots that Charlotte Rugby Club has and the future that Anthem has. So I think it's a perfect marriage. I think it'll be great.
Fans, it's time now for our Pack and Move Challenge, presented by Gentle Giant. The Gentle Giant Pack and Move Challenge features two fans going head-to-head in a test of their packing and moving skills. Each contestant will need to build a box, pack it full of various items, tape it shut, and transport it back to the try line, just like Gentle Giant's expert and responsible movers. Tonight's participants will move everything by hand. No hand cards here. The winner will receive everything that's in the boxes, which includes merchandise from Anthem RC and Gentle Giant. And now, to get things underway, let's send it back down to your match day host, Caitlin.
Thanks, Vince. We have Rachel and Sarah down at the try line to my right. Rachel in gray, Sarah in navy. On the count of three, we're going to get started to start making those boxes. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. All right, they're picking up those boxes first. Gonna have to tape it up to put all those lovely items inside. All right, Sarah's on. Taping the bottom of the box. Putting all the items in there. Sarah just has to close up that box. But Rachel, you still have some time to catch up. All right, Sarah, don't forget your items. You gotta take the box with you. Take it with you back down to the try. She's ready. And she gets there. Fans, let's give it up for Sarah and Rachel participating in our moving game tonight, presented by our friends over at Gentle Giant. And congratulations, you are the winner of today's Pack and Move Challenge, presented by Gentle Giant, the official moving and storage partner of your Anthem RC. Fans, to inquire about Gentle Giant services or employment opportunities, visit gentlegiant.com.
I'm Connie Colson, and I'm the president of the North Carolina Youth Rugby Union. And my main task is to grow rugby amongst the grassroots level in schools and the community, expanded throughout every corner of North Carolina. Rugby was in fact absent when I was growing up. I grew up in Cardiff, Wales. We didn't have a rugby team. We didn't have rugby for girls. That was in the 1980s. They had rugby for the boys. We were told to play hockey, netball, all other sports except for rugby. So personally, I was more into playing touch rugby because, again, it was not available for us. Together with my family, we have been involved in the rugby community. Because of our children, my husband is an ardent rugby fan. He played rugby, and we both coaching rugby. I've coached for 9 years now, and we coach all the way from minis all the way to high school, which is fantastic, and we still continue to do so. It's amazing. why am I involved in it? Because I see how it has influenced the lives of the student athletes and myself as well. I have been very sportive. I've been an athlete throughout my growing up years. I'm a personal trainer. I'm also a physical therapist. I study kinesiology, so I'm really into dynamic movement. I love team sports, and I think that is the number one factor, is being surrounded in this very positive environment, cultivating, team spirit. It teaches you how to function in a community. Not only that, but it keeps you grounded with a discipline. It teaches you the value of respecting other people, which is, for now in today's community, is missing. Well, we currently have almost 2,000 youth rugby players throughout the state. My mission is to grow it double, especially for girls rugby. I think that is something that's really, really close to my heart because of the opportunity that I missed. We have a minis program, which is under 5, all the way through middle school, through high school, and to the adults. For now, my whole purpose for the rugby community is to create awareness, visibility in schools, out of schools, and make it into the America's next favorite sport. Why not?
Fans, the rugby community supports the companies that support rugby. Anthem RC appreciates the immense and invaluable support from our partners, and asks that all rugby fans show their appreciation by supporting our official and proud partners: Pillar Sports, The Hartford, Gentle Giants, Town Brewing, Pizza Baby, Gatorade, Mountain Dew, and Novant Health. If your business is interested in partnering to support Anthem Rugby and to reach rugby fans, please reach out to Patrick Stack at pstack@anthemrc.com to learn more. Now let's throw it back down to Caitlin for some more fun on the pitch.
Thanks, Vince. It's now time for the Anthem RC punt, pass, and kick contest. We're going to meet our two teams. Team 1 all the way down to my right. Team 2 closest to me, also on my right. Each team will need to punt, pass, and kick a rugby down the field to score a conversion. First team to do successfully will be our winner. To do that, the first member of each team will punt a ball down the field as far as they can. Teammate will pass the ball down the field to the third teammate, who will then attempt to kick a conversion through the uprights from the spot of the catch. All right, on the count of 3, we're going to get started with our punts. On your mark, get set, go. Nice punts from both teams to get things started. Now we will attempt the pass, slippery conditions. Next up is the kick through the uprights, team 2. Team 1, you have some time. Let's see it. Team 1 gets it done. Let's hear it. Congratulations. You are the winner of today's Anthem Rugby Carolina Punt, Pass, and Kick Contest. You will receive a prize. Vince, back up to you.
From 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hosted at the Charlotte Rugby Club, this event will include Anthem RC player meet and greet and hospitality, and will be highlighted by a triple header of club rugby matches. Anthem RC season ticket holders will be admitted at no cost, while fans can purchase tickets through Charlotte Rugby Club for $5 in advance or $10 at the door. Season ticket holders, please report to the southeast corner to check in and receive your food. Alrighty fans, it's time to test your knowledge with some good old-fashioned trivia presented by Novant Health. So turn your attention to our video board for tonight's first question. And the answer is C, in line with where the try was scored. Now for our final question. What is the maximum number of substitutes a team may use in a rugby union match? Is it A, 5, B, 6, or C, 8? And the answer is C, 8. Stay tuned for some more trivia coming up later tonight. Brought to you by Nova Hella.
Game between Charlotte Cardinals and Okapi. It is 21-3. We're back here for the second half. Just kicked off. And would you believe it? I'm with Sam Gala. Sam, exactly the same thing happened at the beginning of this half.
You know, just the opposite reverse order, you know. Good pressure from the Wanderers there. I mean, they need to have a fire-up start. They need to come into this half hissing. They're down 18 points. So it's important that they, you know, apply the pressure here.
If I were their coaches, I would say it doesn't feel like, you know, the way they've been playing. I wouldn't say that. They just haven't finished off a couple of options. Now another short, different line out.
Yeah.
option there. That one worked. We talked about how you have to vary it up. You can't just go short the whole time, otherwise you would every time. And a good clearance, rather a line drive kick from Zemke, but he gets it away. But to what I was asking you, Okapi has been playing well, but in this situation here, they haven't produced tries. Yeah,
I think the scoreline definitely does not reflect the game and reflect the Wanderers' performance. But again, they need to execute, and they need to apply a little bit more pressure in the zone. That was a good example. They just couldn't capitalize just yet.
Over the top on the line out and gathered by Miles Capel, who has had a big game for the Cardinals, and out the back, Zemke. Good hit, good line speed from the defense of Okapi. Rodriguez coming up quickly. There's another powerful run. Looked like that was O'Connor, I think.
Lipinski, number 5. Yeah, he's a great carrier, knocked off a defender, but in the end, lost the ball. It was a turnover.
Another holding on penalty, and Rodriguez going to kick to touch. And we're back with an attacking line out for Okapi. They won't be happy with the timing of that last one, which went just a little bit over the fingertips. But Cordoni, who they put in is the number 8, but he is the thrower.
Yeah, it looks like this ball will go to the backs here. I would expect, maybe a maul after their last one. That was kind of in this zone, but I see the 9 at their +1. So
options all over the place, and they are. Oh, the timing is off.
Great heads-up play. That was great work from the Wanderers. The man slipped, and he turned and took the ball. Just unlucky though, and good work from the Cardinals there to get that turnover.
No, you're right, Sam, and I think it went so quickly that maybe some fans didn't see, but they faked to the front.
They faked to the front. The jumper slipped, and the prop, or the front lifter, knew.
Bautista Orfia.
Yeah, he knew, and he saw an opportunity. He was like, look, we got to get a ball. So he turned and looked at the number 2, the hooker, or their number 8, and said, give me the ball.
That really was heads up for both of them, for them to understand that had happened.
Yeah, he saved the line out.
Lifter's nightmare to turn and change and just lose his footing, and they're all trying to help each other. But there was a holding on penalty, and a line out won by the Cardinals. They'll be happy with that, and a good, powerful run in the offload, just lost forward.
It was the perfect idea. He made the break. He had the support. It just didn't execute well.
Okapi now moving that ball wide. Good pick up and just charge ahead. The Wanderers just need to maintain some possession for a bit. But it is held up.
And this is most likely going to be a turnover to the Cardinals here. And there we go.
And then it is held up. Cole Eversole had his big old mitts around that ball, and he wasn't letting that come through. And if you go in and you're not taken to ground, you're held up, and that ball doesn't come out, it's going to be a turnover. It's going to be scrum to the other team.
Yeah, it's basically going to turn to a maul, and once a maul is formed, you can basically lay on the ball. Yeah. No one needs to roll. The ball needs to be able to be played. And if it's not able to be played, it's going to be a turnover. And, it's crazy how a maul can just form in the middle of the field, but that's pretty much how it happens defensively, not on the line out.
Kuhn with the put-in. Scrum time, as we said, has been a bit of an issue for the Cardinals. A couple of penalties, a free kick given up. This one a little bit more solid. Kuhn out, Zemke opting to run. Sells the dummy, looking for the offload. Colson was right there, but held on to it. And no, that wasn't Colson, that was Kafer, because Colson is standing outside. For the the last try scorer of the first half, with the white headgear, 2 players with the white headgear. And now they go straight up the middle. This is just very basic 1 balls, and back to Colson to kick.
Yeah, I know. They had a break, and it got slowed down, and so they just used the forwards to kind of reset, take the time to, have a patient kick. But it was, great response from the Wanderers.
Nice line drive kick. Kuhn couldn't really handle it, and that is another successful trade-off. Wanderers will take that for sure.
Yeah. That was a defensive win from the Wanderers.
After giving up that break again, a couple of
Yeah.
little half breaks from Charlotte Cardinals, just unable to make that last pass or that last connection. And so once again, we look to see if maybe they cleaned the grass off their cleats. And again with the fake jump, and then they went and lost it forward.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was miscommunication at the line out. It looked like they jumped out and then back in.
Thomas
a
Miller
miscommunication on the call. Yeah, Thomas Miller.
he's looking a bit frustrated.
Yeah. They had a great first half of lineouts. The second half, they got to continue to stay composed, stay consistent, especially, when you're getting tired. And you don't want to be shocked.
Kuhn again with a put in. Couple of options. Interesting. Actually, a very old school lineup of the backs for the Cardinals. Zemke now with 2 or 3 options, and he sends that flat to Eversole. Out again, he can just go straight ahead.
Yeah, you can tell he also plays center.
That's right.
Yeah.
Quite happy to do that. Capel going then. Coulson with the grubber. That one beautifully taken by Rodriguez. He had no business controlling that, and that kick.
It was almost a 50-22.
Very much in danger of being one, and the kick downfield from Coulson. And once again, it'll be a Okapi lineout inside the Cardinals 22, and that was some skill. It was a very difficult to handle grubber from Coulson, and it bounced really high, and Joaquin Rodriguez is not the tallest man in the world, but he managed to get up there, control it.
And it looks like Agadello is off.
New winger on, and a couple of changes coming on for Charlotte as well. So 16, 19, 20, and 21, which would be Marcus Guerrero, Dan Capel, Rocco Lopresti, and Tawatavalo, Tui Onitoa coming on. And Tui Onitoa is a big unit.
Yes, he is.
Coming up, penalty, call back, referee will come, didn't see anything.
Offside?
A little bit of a discussion from Morgan Roberts, the referee, who's had a very good game, I think.
Yeah.
She sort of handled it very well, controlled things, kept emotions in check.
Yeah.
We'll just see if we can detect what the issue is, but it will be a penalty for Okapi. And just as another little warning, hey, whatever that was, cut it out.
I believe it might have been offsides.
Yeah. Coming up too early.
Yeah.
Rodriguez with the kick to touch. And this is one of the better attacking chances for Okapi now. 9 minutes into this second half. They really do need to come away with some points, ideally a try for them.
If they want to stay in this game, they need to score here.
Godoni with the throw.
I'm expecting a maul here.
And up, front pot, maul, and driven to the side. Very well dealt with. Kiefer did exceptionally well in number 7.
Yeah.
And really ruined that. So Godoni now on his own. Wasn't too happy with what he saw in front of him, which was a wall of blue. Still, Okapi has it. Rodriguez sending it out to the other Rodriguez. Tackled by Coulson. And not rolling, I think, was the call there. Penalty, yes, not rolling usually.
Play
and
quick.
then so a tap and go from Okapi. They need to speed this up. They want to put Cardinals under pressure. Penalty, and we saw this early in the first half as well, under that kind of pressure, the impatience from Charlotte and giving up some penalties they probably didn't need to give up.
They did not. I think they just had hands in the ruck there, not releasing. Again, I saw a ball out of the ruck from the Wanderers, and a player from the Cardinals jumping on it. It was a bit messy in there.
Yes.
But they need to be composed right here in this area, is where you do not want to give up penalties. And it looks like the Wanderers are calling for a scrum.
Well, there was a discussion, certainly, and they might have been discussing going for points, but they're 18 points down. Going for a penalty goal is not going to help them. They need the 7.
Yeah, these opportunities don't come often in a game. When you get into the attacking 22, you have to walk away. Your conversion on tries and points when you're in this zone is crucial, and they just have not been able to walk away with that many due to the Cardinals' defense. So I think this is a good platform for them to run off of.
So Salabaria, and then pushed back, but Cardoni picks it up, takes on 2, and he is over the line, and just like that, try for Okapi. They'll take that.
Yeah, Juan Cardoni did an amazing job. Carried wide, especially on those 8-man picks. You got to get around that flanker. He took it to the backs. He was bigger than them, stronger than them. Carried it over, took 3 guys over the try line, and great play from him, honestly.
It's easy to get caught up in running at someone. You're saying I got to beat them rather than in between defenders. He did that very well, and he's quick. He's quick off the back of that scrum.
He really is, and he did a great job of just, making that flanker miss gives you so much space, and that's exactly what he did.
And Joaquin Rodriguez with the kick, no problem at all, just caresses that one over. 21-10, we have a ball game on our hands, folks. And Charlotte Cardinals have been under pressure for quite some time, giving up a couple of penalties, losing their composure a little bit at the same time.
Yeah.
Okapi is quite happy to take advantage of that.
I think what we were saying at the end of the first half is they didn't really have anything to worry about, mostly. Right. They were playing a good half of rugby. Just a lot of things weren't going in their way. And what I said is they just need to be consistent and continue to stick to their game plan and chip away at it is what I've heard a lot throughout my career. Even if it feels like it's not working, it is.
Wonderful clearance from Rodriguez, and he was hit just as he was kicking. Referees let it go, and
looks like he's cramping.
Well, the Okapi players are unhappy about it, and it does look like maybe he was cramping, but he's up, and we're back with the line out. And standing there with his arms aside, Miller is just saying, come on, but now new thrower, Lepresti comes in to be the thrower for Charlotte. That one gathered, just barely recovered. Okapi player was slow to get up, but play continues. Tui Onatoa with the powerful run. Again with Lipinski, a little spin move from the lock.
Yeah.
Zemke now grubbers it through, straight to the winger on the right. Kick ahead.
Yeah, Lipinski's had some great carries. I think he's made gain line almost every single time he's carried the ball. However, that was a great play from the Wanderers. They know that they have applied pressure to the Cardinals at the line out all game. And it looks like on the month.
Well, unfortunately, from that last line out, we did have an injury.
Yeah.
And the player who just see who that was that Miller? It wasn't Miller. Unfortunately, will have to be helped off, and I'm not sure if we have a substitute coming on for him, or if they're just checking to see if he's all right, first of all. And there we go. We do have a substitute coming on.
We are not given the names.
No, we were given the 15. We were given 15 players. So it was all a question. Well controlled. Once again, the skill level especially in open field like this from Okapi. Very impressive. The physical power of Charlotte, perhaps part of the difference here so far. Padilla trying to bust through, and he is knocked backwards. Excellent tackle there.
Yeah, Cappy got under the ball, met him, and that, forced a turnover. And now we got a little scrap in the middle. The boys have been going on for a bit. I'm sure tensions are high here. But the Cardinals are, facing them physically, and that's going to be frustrating.
That was a good, positive grade tackle against a powerful, low to the ground body. And referee Roberts will bring everybody together now. We'll bring Zemke and Cardoni together, both coaches' sons, and say, hey, let's settle this down. Let's play some rugby. And right there you see that Zemke just doing that little palms down movement. So everybody just chill out a little bit.
Take a breath,
Yeah. It's you want to channel all that emotion, but in a positive way. And nothing much in there other than a little bit of shoving and
a little pulling, shoving.
Yeah.
Getting in their face. It happens. It's happened to me. I've done it.
Right. I mean, sometimes just a moment to get under someone's skin.
Yeah. Hey, the mental edge carries far.
Yes.
So,
Well, we have a scrum just about in the middle of the field. Kuhn puts that in. 8-man pick. Zemke now acting as scrum half.
And there's
Tui Omatoa. Nice carry right through the gain line. Another one. Oh, still going. Still going. No one's going to catch him. Right under the post. And after all that tough, hard yards, Lucas Lipinski, who deserves it more? He has carried the mail so nicely tonight and straight through from 50 meters out.
Yeah, I've been saying all game he has made gain line every single time, and there he goes. I think he broke 2 or 3 tackles, and the speed on the lock. Wow,
Well, he looked around. He looked around, didn't see anybody, and said, "You know what? I guess it's on me." And he just kept going. Very athletic, and we saw him with the, that I made fun of that spin move, but wasn't really making fun of it. I was quite impressed.
Yeah.
And he's light on his feet. He's agile and strong as well. The kick is good. It is 28-10. But Sam, would it be fair to say that that was set up by all those other tougher carries in?
It was. Yeah, no, I think he has been chipping away at their defense all game. They have not enjoyed tackling him. Again, game line every single time, which means they're soaking up those tackles.
Right.
One of those carries, he's eventually going to run someone over. Yeah. And that's exactly what he did.
Yes.
So credit to him. It was a great single effort. It was all him,
Cameron Padilla comes on after a hard day at the office for the prop for Okapi. The kickoff is up and just barely gathered in. Zane Schumacher. Very sloppy at that ruck, and actually that's a turnover for Okapi.
Yeah, that was a good contest.
And tightening it up now, the Wanderers looking to just keep it in. Get Orfia. He goes in, another pick and go. They're pretty far from the line. They're about 10 meters from the line, so this isn't really, or is it? Is it their short yardage offense? They just want to do it now.
Yeah, I think tactically the way you want to do is you want to draw a bunch of defenders in and then, attack with the backs.
Well met. Once again, they go in tight. About 8 Cardinals right around the ruck, ready to defend. That was a low pass, but gathered up. Rodriguez does not get rattled. I gotta say, doesn't matter where that ball is. He's going to take something, make something happen. And out to Codoni, and then out to his teammate.
I mean, look at this defensive effort. I think that's wow.
But the ball was lost forward. A little bit of a knock on. Zemke sends it. And
He did touch that.
yes, Santiago Rodriguez wanted to take it and pass it and just glanced off his fingers.
Yeah.
Knock on.
I mean, the Cardinals were defending right around the 10, pushed them all the way to the 22, won the turnover, got the kick. I mean, the Wanderers were just under pressure there, you know, and it was a great effort, great defensive effort from the Cardinals. I think that last try from Lipinski gave him an extra fire the second half, and, you know, you can tell.
You know, it's also, we talk about the bench coming on, you want to raise the level.
Yeah.
But I think that when they do raise the level, they come in and, hey, we did contribute a try. We're not just holding on. That gives them an emotional boost. Yeah, we're here. You know, we matter.
The bench is very important. I mean, Guerrero came in, made a dominant tackle, forced a turnover. Tui has had dominant carries ever since he came in. They're doing the work. You know, so for the guys that have played the whole game so far, it just opens it up for them. They have more of a feel for how the Wanderers are playing, and it's making it easier for them to kind of see their weak points.
And another scrum, this one boring in. Another scrum penalty against Charlotte. That's going to be something they need to clean up. Codoni just taps and goes himself. Picks out somebody to run into. TJ Kiefer's one of the guys he runs into. Rodriguez wasn't really expecting that. And the ball squirts loose. Again, Okapi now negative yardage on their possessions. And this one will be a knock-on by Charlotte. But they'll take that. They're pushing Okapi backwards.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was Lipinski again in the face of, you know, the Wanderers just making it really difficult for them to breathe. That is how you want to defend. You want to defend like as it's as important as attacking. You know, it is an attacking platform. And that's exactly what they're doing. And now the Wanderers do have a midfield scrum, but I'm curious to see how the game continues to move forward with this amount of pressure.
Okapi showed that they can move the ball to wide, but that was some pressure off the scrum, and really the only option there was to kick, and a fantastic kick it was from Rodriguez, and that should be a 50-22. It is a 50-22 off nothing. Rodriguez again got bad ball, scooped it up, and then pumped it 60 meters downfield and rolling into touch.
Not only do I think it was bad ball, I think he was about to knock it on.
Yeah.
So he caught it, and it was like in the middle of a knock on, and as it was going to the ground, he was like, you know, I can make this into a kick. And I mean, look how it turned out. He is down right now with a cramp, so I think they're going to be pausing the game here for a second.
And he has been working hard, running back and forth, fielding those kicks. But what I was trying to say just before that on that scrum was that Okapi has shown that they can move the ball wide. Ball handling, if they had the opportunity, they could do something.
Yeah.
In the end, they didn't have the opportunity because this time Charlotte's scrum was driving them back. As we will, we're waiting on the cramp that's being treated by, in fact, the Charlotte Cardinals trainer to come in and help, and as we do within this sport, just help each other. And he's getting up and moving a little bit. Says to referee Roberts that he's good to go, so we are good to go.
It's all those exceptional kicks from Rodriguez.
Yes.
You know, he's that right foot's getting tired.
Line out Codoni now. Well taken, Okapi. Take it down to the ground, but that feed not there, and storming through is O'Connor.
Lipinski.
Lipinski again.
Number 5 again,
I
yeah.
should just say Lipinski every time. Big high ball. Under pressure. Well taken. Very well taken there. And now back out, and another loose ball, and another eye off the ball as you hear those footsteps coming toward you.
Yep. When you apply a lot of defensive pressure, you get scared to attack, and that's how it felt. I feel like he was looking at the defender before the ball.
Right.
And you can't do that. Ball first.
Scrum for Charlotte Cardinals now. 40 meters from the Okapi try line. They have options. There's a very large weak side on the left. And they've sent 4 backs to the right. Zemke's sort of really behind that. But he certainly does have a lot of different things he could do if Charlotte just avoids committing penalties on the scrum.
Yeah, you know, I want to see a good, stable scrum. Have either team, you know, have a platform to attack on. The last one, Cardinals rolled them over. But this is Cardinals' ball, so.
And really, they have given up some penalties on their own feed just from trying to go in too early.
Yep.
And this one wheels a little bit. Referee says good, and just bursting onto the ball. Cardinals now good 5 meters past the gain line. Have they retained that ball, however? No, it looks like good turnover from Okapi. Just straight rucked them off it, and deep kick. Colson back where he should be. A lot of space, high ball. Chased by Zemke, who goes up for it. Well taken. Zemke makes the tackle.
Oh, great shot.
Summarily dumped to the ground. And Rodriguez going to drive that deep. Zemke unable to control it, but it doesn't roll. Just gets hung up in that wet grass. Doesn't roll for the 50-22. Zemke will kick it downfield and not send it to touch. Did that on purpose. Another high ball. Well taken.
Good
but the
pressure.
chase is good from Okapi. Can they get that ball back? No. Tui Onatoa fighting through traffic. He's stopped. Cold. Beautiful offload. Kiefer. Another charge through Lipinski. And back to Zemke, who's going to just send a high ball. He doesn't want that to go into touch on the full. It's caught. Is it knocked forward? Yes, I think that's going to be a knock-on advantage for Okapi.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be.
I believe that was Aiden O'Connor. Aiden McLaughlin, sorry.
Well, knocked forward. That was a really interesting sequence with a couple of high balls, some powerful, some big hits, and we get those turnovers as well. But Okapi now looking at the clock and thinking, you know, we've got about 10 minutes left here.
Yeah.
We need a couple of tries.
We're seeing number 17, Brady Murray, coming in for Aiden McLaughlin. Brady's a great player. Marvin Ridge product. He injects a lot of energy into the game. I've seen some good performances out of him, so I'm excited to see the energy that he brings to this back line in these last 10 minutes of the game.
Interesting, they put him in the middle of this back line, at least on the defensive side of the ball. There's not much of a weak side.
Yeah.
And you see all 6 outside backs for Okapi lined up. Big drive from Charlotte.
Early push, yeah.
And once again with the penalties, I think that's maybe 4 or 5 perhaps penalties in the scrum against Charlotte. That kick, unfortunately for Okapi, goes through the in goal and goes dead. And so Charlotte will have an option here.
Yeah, she's just looking for a decision.
What do you want? Scrum back. That's what. Get a scrum back where they kicked it from.
Yep.
Not quite sure why there's a choice. That really seems to be the obvious option there. So that ball, when a ball is kicked in open play that rolls dead, that's a scrum to where it kicked from.
Yeah.
Here on the penalty, they have the option of a dropout, I believe. So it's
that is a lot of territory lost. And it looks like Wells O'Mara is about to be subbed in for the Cardinals. Never mind.
Well, they were getting ready to bring him back in.
Yeah.
But we will go with this scrum. Once again, though, Charlotte penalized far too often in these scrums. This one wheels, but the ball is available. Here we go. Eversole, straight through, loses contact. And that'll be a turnover for Okapi.
Looks like Wells is going in for their number 1, Cade Frederick.
So that would be why you could bring him back in, because he's front row qualified. You're bringing in a front row player.
Yeah, but it looks like TJ Keffer is actually going to be going in at front row, and Wells will actually be going into lock. You know, just a
little bit.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of guys, you know, moving it around, you know.
Right.
Hey, if they can play the
That's
position,
right.
you know.
That's right.
I think if you did that in the MLR level,
yes.
your scrum would
Yeah, that's
instantly
true.
lose. But, you know, here, you know, it works. And their scrum's dominating right now, you know. So, wasn't in the first half, but, you know, we've been seeing them kind of out-strengthen them.
Nicely done loop move. The chip ahead. And there is a chase, and that ball goes into in goal, and we will talk about a late hit on the kick.
Well recovered by Brady to get into the try zone. But, yeah, no, I believe there was a late hit here.
And that will go. Usually that goes to a penalty where the ball lands or is first touched. And that ball did land. Joe and Luke Zemke will be yellow carded
And
for that.
miss the remainder of the game. So
And I think that was a late tackle.
It
and
was.
I think we had a lot of warnings. And eventually, referee Robert says, "I've given you guys."
she's given the Cardinals a lot of grace.
Yes.
She has. So, you know, Wanderers have a great opportunity in the last, say, 6 minutes here, 7 minutes.
Yes.
So, you know, they're up a man. They need to use this to their advantage. They need to apply a lot of pressure to the Cardinals, empty the tank. You know, that is what they need to do here.
And we might. I mean, the way they're aligned, do they want to test them out wide?
Let's go, Cardinals!
Won by Okapi, not cleanly, but they did win it. Out to the middle of the field. Quickly again, trying the delayed pass, but no one's taking any dummies today. They're coming in and smashing people.
Yeah, that was good line speed from the Cardinals. They saw an opportunity. They saw messy ball from the line out, from the pass, straight to the backs. It was just messy from the start. And, you know, even though they're down a man, they just put the line speed on. They saw an opportunity and attacked them defensively.
Ultimately, it'll become a scrum down to Okapi, but still they're not able to get any of that momentum going.
No.
They don't have time. And this is one of the things where you talk about the different competitive levels. And, you know, it's a good league in Florida, as Okapi again tries to find some room, some space, and now a pass behind someone slows them down a little bit. And the Cardinals are so sure that their teammates are going to make tackles. They're all up there.
Yeah, their
Very
line speed is
organized.
fantastic.
Big hit again, this time from Eversole. And in they go over the ball. Okapi still retains. Well cleared out. Rodriguez stumbles a little bit. Goes to a half gap. He is taken down. Asking quite a bit of that crampy calf. Another hit. Rodriguez, they have to run with it now. They can't really spend a lot of time kicking it.
If they kick it, they're just going to slow the ball down.
Ball squirted out of the back of that rock, got flung backwards, and yes, they have it. Kiefer again with the ball. He's had a very good game. Taken out Guerrero with the pass. Guerrero digging forward again. Colson calling for it. Boot to ball. Look at all those players out wide. And they will be offside, and I think they'll go back to an offside against Okapi because they didn't have advantage. But I was just saying, I'm sorry, that Sam, that they play in a good league in Florida, but why they're here is to travel and be tested by an extremely good team.
Yeah.
And say, hey, by the way, when you play this team in Florida, this team, they don't give you, they give you a lot more space and time than this team will.
Yeah. And I feel like the athletes on the Cardinals, they're all dual sport athletes. We're talking football players, wrestlers that play rugby as well year round. I mean, these are great players. And I feel like I'm seeing it on the field just straight from a physicality standpoint and strength. I mean, their defense is ruthless.
Yes.
I'm seeing a lot of double tackles, a lot of aggression, and then in the carry as well, dominant carries every single time. So, kudos to Charlotte, the Cardinals, for, putting this performance together.
Good offload for Okapi now, trying to get something going. Now deep in their half, 32 minutes into this game, roughly. We got about 3 minutes, 15 seconds to go. 28-10. Rodriguez powers it down the field. Colson takes his time. Thumps it back the other direction. A lot of tired bodies, not really interested in running back and forth on this field. Rodriguez looks for that gap, that space where maybe Zemke would have been. Oh, nice little dummy sold, and the kick to touch. Really good rugby there, and just get it out of trouble and settle it down, take that line out.
That was great work from Brady Murray. I thought he did a great job. He worked his tail off to get all the way back there, recover the kick, step the defender, and then get the exit. It was really a last-ditch effort from Okapi to put pressure on them and gain some territory. But, hey, at least they have a line out in the half, and they got to, they're running out of time.
We've talked about the set piece, Sam, and the line out for Okapi hasn't been great in the second half.
The second half, they fell off. They definitely fell off. I think with the amount of pressure outside of set piece that the Cardinals have been, pushing onto them, it's been tough for them to, kind of recover. And, your set piece can be as good as it can be, but if you're just getting smoked defensively and, offensively, what good is the platform if you're not going to use it,
Absolutely true. And as we've seen, we watch Charlotte Cardinals against number 11 ranked Okapi. That's kind of working out.
Yeah.
In terms of how a number 3 should probably do against number 11. Colson with a little chip ahead. The chase is on. McKillop and Eversole looking for something. They can't get it, but it's won by Charlotte.
Keep it in hands, keep it in hands, keep it in
Colson
hands.
back inside to Guerrero. Guerrero still running, still going, bouncing off tackles. Like a little Mini Cooper just amongst all these Ford trucks. Colson now acts at halfback. Back the other way now. A little lofting pass. Eversole goes and ball squirts out. Guerrero's doing very well to just keep that tempo going. That offload went backwards. Did it? No, it went forward. And that will be a scrum, but another charge from Charlotte where they use their power and look, the teamwork just seems to be growing in this team tonight.
Yeah, no. You can tell there's athletes together. They're learning how to play with each other. They're getting used to it. Again, like you said, they've only had one game together so far. So it's important that they use this game. They use this great performance to kind of take what they can out of it, and, they should be proud. I think this will probably be the last play of the game. And, we'll see what the Wanderers do with this last attacking
Yes,
platform
yes.
behind their 22.
I have a feeling that if you ask the Wanderers, would you want to play this team again, they would say absolutely.
Yeah.
And now we know some of the things that we have to do better.
Yeah.
That they feel that they would do better in that game. The scoreline, at least. And again, we thought they played well in a number of areas. They just weren't able to get more than that one try.
Yeah, I thought tactically they won the first half, even though the scoreline didn't match up to it. I think they did play a better kicking game, a better set piece game. I just think the Cardinals, kind of outmuscled them.
Yet another penalty in the scrum against Charlotte. This is definitely a work on for them.
Yeah.
And it will be a penalty for Okapi, though. Going to kick to touch. Even if time is up, if you kick to touch on a penalty, you get that line out, you get to keep going.
Yeah, if I was Charlotte, I would just be crazy line speed right now, looking for a turnover, anything to disrupt their game, steal the line out, whatever it is.
And this should probably be it for the game right now. 28-10. It was it actually ended up being so far 7-7 in the second half. Ball won by Okapi, but still Cardinals just swarming in.
Yeah.
Making it difficult for the Wanderers to do anything or at least take some time, but now charge through. And the ball lost backwards, says the referee. Now it squirts through. Cardinals get it, and it is a knock on. But Guerrero's just going. No fear whatsoever. Eversole takes that one on the hop. Counter ruck from Okapi. Colson sending it wide. It ended up in the hands of Schumacher. Schumacher dancing around. He does not like to go down on the first hit. Still moving, still going.
Yeah, looks like the Cardinals want more points here. They don't care about the clock being out.
And there was it was there.
Yeah.
It absolutely was there. But the turnover, Okapi will take it. They'll kick that, and that's going to roll around. Guerrero back. Well, somehow gets out of trouble. He is tackled.
That was a high tackle.
And it will be a high tackle. It will be that. And so, referee, they're going to tap and go. Colson said, okay, he's going to go. He tapped, he checked. And that will be a try for Colson. He looked directly at the referee and said, is this the mark?
Yep,
Tapped
she
it,
said
and
play
he
on,
went.
yeah,
Go.
I think what a way for them to end the game there.
They, as you
they
said,
wanted that try.
They
did not want to kick it out of bounds.
Right.
They were like, we want to put points up. We want to make a statement as the number 3 team in the country, So,
and I don't think they wanted to tie the score in the second half. I think they said, hey, we're winning this, right?
Yeah.
We're going to finish it off. And Colson comes in, and if he converts this, that will give him, if my math is correct, 15 points for the night. With tries from, I've got to see who gave his tries. Actually, Colson, no, I'm sorry. Colson, he scored 2. And that will give him 20 points for the night. And that will be a ball game. 35-10. Charlotte Cardinals win this one. Win this Pathway Classic. The first game of the first Pathway Classic presented by Anthem and College Rugby Association of America. Sam Gala, you got a player of the game for us?
I think you know my player of the game.
Yeah,
it's going to be Lipinski.
I think so.
Yeah.
Number 5,
Yeah.
Lucas Lipinski. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I think, the forwards dominated this game for the Cardinals, and I think he was the most dominant forward. If it wasn't him, I do think Wells actually did a really good job. I thought he had very positive impact, tackles, carries, but just straight up involvement, meters, dominant shots. you know, he was pretty much unstoppable against this team, and he's a workhorse. Yeah, he just did.
Well, he went all the
everything.
way through, absolutely, and you know, Okapi, so many good things that they do, but when you take away time, that was their struggle. When they ran out of time, then they weren't able to do some of the things they could do. A lot of skill, a lot of heart from them. And open their counter ruck. Their line out was strong. Their kicking game was strong. Finishing, that's
a very well coached team, in my personal opinion. I think, you know, the coaches know exactly what they're doing. They did a great job of coaching these guys. I was incredibly impressed with how sophisticated their kicking game was. You know, especially for a high school level. You know, you don't see that often.
Right.
And you know, kudos to them. I thought they played an amazing game. Cardinals played an amazing game, you know. So, you know, it was a good matchup against some top-ranked college rugby.
And
high school rugby.
High school
My apologies. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, you know,
last game I did with you was college,
right,
so you
that's
know.
right. This is also pretty early in the season.
Yeah,
and it's not like the culmination. There's so much more that they know they can work on and give. It's just very impressive that we have that. So we are, I believe, going to be presenting something to the captain who finished the game on the sideline. Hopefully his yellow card is over, that he can actually come and do something, and he will be getting some kudos.
Yeah. No, he did a good game. Dual threat, 10 in center.
All right, we are going to talk to Luke Zemke.
Oh.
From the Charlotte Cardinals. Now let's send it down to Caitlin, who is with our man of the match.
Thanks, Vince. Well, Luke, a 35-10 victory here on the pitch tonight. How do you think your team performed overall?
You know, it was not great conditions out, of course. You know, wet, a little windy, a little cold. But you know, our discipline on the field and how we held the conditions really showed off. And you know, we all played together well, and led us to this victory.
And then your dad is the coach here of your Cardinals, and just what is it like to play under him?
It's hard to tell. You know, after games, I go home and you know my dad. But during games, he's my coach, and he's hard on me. But it's really good to have someone like that in my life to tell me and to teach me his ways.
Great, thanks, Luke. Luke is our gentle giant man of the match. And we're going to bring in Dad, Coach Zemke. How you doing tonight, Coach? Congrats on the win tonight. Like I asked your son, what is it like coaching him and being able to, you know, not only be his dad, but to be his coach as well?
It's interesting. Sometimes I got to remind myself that I am dad, you know, and not just something like that. I usually come out last. But it was definitely for the first time tonight. I was like, oh crap, we're going to be dad. So I ran out to watch him run on and be a proud dad. As soon as he went on, I was a coach again. It's back and forth the whole time.
And how does this win tonight prepare you for the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's our second game. The conditions are crazy. Hard for both teams. All pretty on. And boys on the top coming up, giving it all to us. Yeah, we've got a long season ahead. We'll hope to get national the season. It wasn't the best conditions, but sometimes you got to win ugly. You know, but all credit to the guys for sticking to the structures and getting through the game. So that's
Great, thank you, Coach. Congrats. Back to you, Vin.
Thanks, Caitlin. And Gentle Giant is back supporting in the Marcy in a giant way. Gentle Giant, a full-service and nationally recognized moving company, is proudly supporting Anthem Rugby for a second consecutive season. Gentle Giant's athletic, highly trained crews includes former and current Anthem players and is trusted across the Carolinas for any of your moving services.